Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Live! Yeah.
Kia ora tatou katoa. You're listening to Radioactive.fm, and welcome to Active Live, our weekly live music session featuring amazing Kiwi talent and presented with support from NZ On Air. I am really excited to tell you about today's special guest, Poniki duo Mr Sterile Assembly. Today they will be telling us about the release of not one but two new albums, Hello and Goodbye, as well as a new book called Sound Off. These releases and their upcoming Goodbye gig are marking and celebrating the end of their long and extraordinary journey as a band. And you can see it all happen in person next Friday, the 15th of March at Barrel Brothers on Constable Street in Newtown. Without further ado, I'd like to say hello to the band. Would you please each introduce yourselves, tell us what you play, and introduce the first song.
Kia ora koutou, ko Chrissy Butler aho.
Call Mr Sterile Aho. I play the drums.
And I play bass.
And we're going to play a song called Hurry. And it's about radio people. Sort of Duncan Garner kind of radio people. Not all radio people, just some radio people. Seems like every talking head, spinning clever, sing aloud, every claim to speak. Tongue in cheek, for the silent crowd, every point to score. Few applause of mind and hearts, everything is black and white. Twitter into bite-sized parts, everything's urgent. Talk it up and talk it down, everything matters. Despite the fact that facts are known, everything's balanced. Depends in fact on who to say compassionate gaslight. Say it's nothing, smile why. See you for mouthpiece. Fill your ears up with a junk, every trusted mug. Cover strike, your brain is rank, every reused excuse. It's authority, gospel proof, fuck what behaviour. Be subjective with the proof, every extra here. Loud ideas got it wrong, every wise refrain. On display and now it's gone, every valued point. Mr. Smarter sits about every shred of good advice. There to prop the oligarch. Yow! When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, there are a lot to say for someone, but not a lot to say. You never let the words get in the way you say what you know. Comes to below. There are a lot to say for someone, but not a lot to say. You never let the words get in the way you say what you know. It's the thing your breath does. When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When the mercury's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, it's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, born from your inner walls. When the mercury's low, coming from your mouth, honest what the heart is something I can trust, your tiny rosy cloud. It's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, born from your inner walls. When the mercury's low, coming from your mouth, honest what the heart is something I can trust, your tiny rosy cloud. It's a thing your breath does. When it's cold, born from your inner walls. When the mercury's cold, coming from your mouth, honest what the heart is something I can trust, your tiny rosy cloud.
That
It's going to
gets
be
my
a
blood
fast
pressure
half
right
hour.
up. Beautiful.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
You guys catch your breath there.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, while you're catching your breath, I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. Hope you like numbers.
Numbers.
Yeah, that's all shit at me.
All right, how many people in your band?
2.
How many collaborators have you worked with?
Oh,
Forget.
many. We've had 7 in the band all at once.
Yeah.
But we've collaborated with heaps of people over the years.
Heaps of people.
In the band itself that have been featured on albums is probably about like 11 or 12,
Yeah.
maybe 14.
Yeah.
So you expand and
It's a
contract.
project.
You breathe.
It started big and contracted and expanded as people decided they could turn up or not. And then after about 10 years, it kind of settled into this shape. Maybe a bit longer.
A good shape it is. How many releases have you?
7.
7.
7 albums.
Yeah, I think so. 7 albums and a book.
2 books.
2 books, sorry.
7 albums. Well, 1 book up until we launch this book today. Then it'll be 2 books.
Today. Oh,
Today,
And besides,
book.
you blew the whistle. Nobody was meant to know about the book until your Facebook post, Kidron. Oh, they've been knocking down our door. Not.
I can't contain my excitement.
Thank you.
Okay, another number. How many albums are you releasing next week?
2.
2.
Can you please tell me about them?
The first one, or if you turn around and show your hello on the back.
Oh, sorry.
Hello is the album of new songs. That it's taken about 3 years, maybe a wee bit longer to do. It's got stuck by COVID, and then I broke my hand, but then we finished it, and now it's done. And so that's Hello. There's 11 songs or something. And the other song is Goodbye, and it's a mixtape approach album. So it's sort of recordings, outtakes, random kind of field recordings from trips across the years.
It's cool.
Live mayhem from across the planet.
Yeah.
Really.
And they are very different.
They
I
are.
do too.
They are, but they're kind of one thing. The cool thing about the mixtape is it's got some of the live stuff where you kind of get a sense of what it might be like to see us. Yeah.
And
Very
I think
good.
it almost features everybody that's ever featured in the band.
Yeah,
on it,
yeah.
so
Oh,
it's to-
nice.
it was nice going through and compiling that and hearing all of them again.
An audio family album.
Yeah.
Totally.
Beautiful. Well, hey, speaking of that energy that you capture, let's have another song. What you going to play for us?
Transit.
Well, this is called Transit
Oh, my
Yeah.
favorite.
from the 4th album of the same name.
We take a step towards nowhere. Never leave the unknown, the now and here. Walking the rain to the great sameness. Use a blaming game to fuel our fears. We take a step towards nowhere. All we know is no and hope is where. Keeping the pain and blanket greyness. Cynical refrain, a snide who cares. Stuck here in transit, what vision for destination? What vision is needed? Efforts only now. Efforts only here. Efforts always now. Efforts always going. Efforts going gone. Stuck here in transit. What vision for destination? What vision is needed? Efforts only here. Efforts always now. Efforts always here. Efforts always going. Efforts going gone. We take a step towards nowhere. Make an empty move, no thought for pause. Inflame the name to secure containment. In calamity's name, we break the rules. We take a step towards nowhere. In the scrolling mall of flapping jaws. Quick change the name to content reflection. That the no here now is the now here before. Stuck here in transit. What vision for destination? What vision is needed? Efforts only now. Efforts
Open mouth expectant, waiting to swallow. Woman swallows
her own tail. Open mouth expectant, waiting to swallow. Man swallows his own tail. Man swallows his own tail. Open mouth expectant, waiting to swallow. Woman swallows her own tail. Woman swallows her own tail. Open mouth expectant, waiting to swallow. Man swallows his own tail. Man swallows his own tail. Open mouth expectant, waiting to swallow. Woman swallows her own tail. Woman swallows her own tail. Open mouth expectant, waiting to swallow. Man swallows his own tail. Man swallows his own tail. Open mouth expectant, waiting to swallow. Woman swallows her own tail. Woman swallows her own tail. Open mouth expectant, waiting to swallow. Man swallows his own tail.
Epic. Epic. Oh, if you're just joining
Epic with a
us.
small e.
No, epic in all caps, guys. Epic in all caps. If you're just joining us, my name's DJ Kedron, and you are with Active Live, Radioactive's weekly live music session featuring some of the most iconic Kiwi musicians and presented with support from New Zealand On Air. We're in studio today with a legendary band called Mr Sterile Assembly.
Come and watch an old man have a coronary.
Yeah.
Hey, there's one number I might have forgotten to ask you about, and that is how many years your band's been going.
23?
23, I suppose, this year.
Yeah.
22 and a half. Started 2001. Started September.
Yes.
First gig, September 13, 2001. 2 days after the World Trade Center thing happened. No connection.
Yeah.
No.
And it finishes on March the 15th.
Next week.
Friday. And that's it. Gone.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Zip up the bag.
Absolutely.
Stick it in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Close the doors.
And why are you wrapping things up?
It's kind of time. I think we wanted to stop when we were good rather than when we were tired. It feels there are other things we want to do, and sterile takes a lot of time and a lot of headspace. Yeah, and so we want to give time to those things, and it feels like the right time.
It's actually, it feels really nice to be in control of just deciding to end and wrap it up with integrity for nobody else, just for us.
On your own terms.
It started, like the entire project I think has been a success. It started, it did its thing, and it's finished, and it's all been on completely our own terms, and you know, no compromise has been required. We've done exactly what we've wanted, gone where we've wanted, played how we wanted and where we wanted.
And speaking of where you wanted, you know, you guys have played all over the world, and you touch on this in your book, but you don't call it touring, you call it travels.
Well, it is.
And, you know, I think that, you know, touring's when somebody goes and plays the same set in different places, but you guys have a very different approach, something that's more reciprocal and organic.
Yes, yeah.
I'm just going to list a few places that you've toured,
Okay.
just for fun.
Like
Multiple
Bruce Forsyth in the Generation Game.
multiple visits to Southeast Asia, including many to Indonesia, as well as Singapore and Thailand, multiple tours to China, Japan, and Korea, UK, Poland, and of course you've got ongoing close relationships with bands from Central Europe, especially Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Closer to home, you've been touring Australia and all over New Zealand, across the Motu, lots of smaller towns, places where you might not find avant-garde punk as an everyday occurrence.
Levin.
Invercargill.
Invercargill.
Rose. Best. It was for a while the best gig in the country.
You've been all over, and Levin is your fave.
Yeah.
I think so. It's
beautiful.
I love it because it's like it's just doing what I think punk was meant to do, which was not meant to be a sound, but was meant to be a way of doing stuff. And it's just these old punks recognising that there's 9/10 of not much happening in Levin other than getting drunk, pregnant, in trouble with the cops, and repeat. So they set up a venue local bands can come and play, locals can come and play, get loose in a safe environment. Young bands come through, they nurture that, and it creates a really beautiful environment. And I just love that kind of that self-initiating effort that people make things happen in the face of adversity, where everybody thinks living's a bit shit, and it's like wrong.
Well, that that connection with that community is something that you've repeated in many different places and many different cultures.
Yeah.
And I really recommend that folks, if you can, pick up a copy of Sound Off and learn a little bit about where you guys have gone and how you've connected with the communities that you've played for and played with.
Yeah.
Whether you could speak the language or not.
I mean, anybody can do it, you know, like, well, kind of, I guess, within some parameters. I mean, we never had any kind of funding, or we never had any money, and so we just bought tickets on a credit card, and then we made contacts via Facebook Messenger, and then we toured and slept on floors, and then came back and spent the next 2 years paying it off, and then we did it again.
Well, you might be the most well-toured independent band in New Zealand's history.
Don't know.
It was fun. We recommend it.
With no external label support, because you have your own label, and that's Skirted Records.
Yep.
And it's not just Mr. Sterile that's on your label. Chrissy, you've got a lot of your own releases, and Mr. Sterile, you've got your own projects as well.
Solo stuff and other projects.
So Skirted Records on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
It's not hard to find.
No.
And, of course, this new album, Hello, is on Bandcamp.
Yes.
As well as all your other releases. And when people listen to it on Bandcamp, I really suggest that you click the lyric link and have a bit of a dive into the lyric content. The lyrics are thick.
Thick, man.
It's a lot of stories.
The writer's thick. That's what they used to call me at school, I'm sure.
Anyway, speaking of lyrics, what's the next song you're going to play for us?
History.
Oh, yeah. History of the Wall. The History of the Wall. Do you want to know about it a little bit? How much are we going for time? There's no clock in here.
Just talk.
There is no clock.
No, there is no clock. Time is a concept. Ants don't have it. History of the Wall. Written after I read A Thing, Prophet in a Pitiless World. I think the author is John Berger, and it got me thinking about who invented the wall and the function of the wall. You know, the colonial powers of the wall, the concentration camp of the wall. It's a happy song.
Yeah. Should we play it?
But it's an interesting thing. John Berger's really good to read if you like reading or watching on YouTube. He's got a nice voice.
He does have a nice voice.
You could listen to him as you went to sleep.
You could.
Yeah, let's play a song.
Shall we?
Yes. God, that's the history of the wall. Face the west whenever rally split, and if the wind calls that. Fearful times, our binary lines, records all hold you back. Telling in the alleys, learning her name. Who cares, you rarely lost it all. Matters most, who Skinner's in the game. God, that's the history of the wall. So the lie, there's justice eyes for who's into the walls told. Protocols of us and them, and past us you'll never know. Hold a hope, see what will be. Hold a rope and hope for open waters. At one end are the things you'd flee, others are deeper water.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Excellent.
God, that's the history of the wall. Face to face with aggressive gate. Gate is your door into a pen. Pen is sad, more savage and sore. Keep a gate is not a friend. Friendly someone holding over space. Space and place you can belong. Big without, up back against one. Big with being is wrong.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Give it a wall. That's it, that one.
Just like John Berger wrote it.
Very nice, very nice. Now, just to point out the obvious, you guys look stunning.
Thank you.
You don't look like any other band I've seen. And in your book, under the section called Costumes, you are really considered in how you present yourself to the audience. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It has been an evolving thing. When we first began, it was more like we were determined not to be cool. Things were pretty cool at the time when we began.
Turned out that wasn't very hard.
That wasn't very hard.
You guys are so cool.
It was, things were very cool, and there was quite a lot of playing with your back to the audience. And we just wanted to mess with that a little bit and try to, often between bands and an audience, there's this kind of void. We wanted to mess with that. Over time, things have got a bit more considered. So, like with this costume here,
called Orange Time, the Orange Time costume.
So there are patches.
Other shoulder.
Here.
Oh, on there.
Here, on the other shoulder, there. Which are kind of like another expression of some of the songs.
Yes.
I kind of said it all, didn't I?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there you go.
It's finding multiple ways to convey different information into the body of the song. I mean, often people say, "Can't hear the words," and that's fine. We push them on Bandcamp so you can read them.
Yeah.
But it's also there's a thin line between concept album, which I don't think we do.
No.
We don't do concept albums, but we do thematic projects. And so the thematic project around Hello, the high vis and bits and pieces, it's kind of like, in some ways, a response to just current stuff. It's like just paying attention to current stuff like climate change, et cetera, and just the ordinary everydayness of it. And, you know, how some people don't pay attention and other pay too much attention and kind of sometimes miss nuance without, and we sort of started looking at other things about how do you draw attention to things in other ways so that people may pay attention. And one of the ways that happens socially is high-vis vests.
You certainly have achieved it. You've definitely managed to demand attention.
And I spent far too long thinking about the concept of high-vis and who thought out what high-vis was defined. So, like, pink high-vis is for a particular thing. Green high-vis is for, like, cops and stuff. What other colours? Yellow high-vis is for, like, bicyclists and pedestrians. And orange high-vis
is for Mr. Sterile Assembly.
Well, yes, but I look out the window and the street is littered with orange cones. So orange high-vis belongs to the workers and the traffic people who are standing on the edge of damaged spaces and who are telling you to go or stop, because if you keep going, this cliff is going to come down. So they seem like a really lovely thing, and I don't think that lollipop people get enough attention in rock music.
Yeah. So.
And speaking of rock music, I want to squeeze in one more song.
One more song.
And I do have a request, and that's Don't. Didn't.
Oh, well, you're in luck.
You're in luck.
You may turn off my microphone. I'm not going to be using it for this one.
Okay, didn't have to do this, so I start yell on the right note. Always important. You ready? I'm ready. We did not survive the ice, so the slaves tried to barricade the ships across the sea. Parties, sudden parties, of ashes, the fascists singing both the bits of truth. Bad attempts, sacrificial actions, 1,000 lives of blood for victory. Cynical invasions and negative persuasions fabricated history. Punching back the gangs of pints of kind of grounds of paper wings and menace of the wall. Punching back resistance, to rationalise the territory that justify the cause. Politics, the end, the shit, the David Finch, the commentators, cause the consequence. Terrorising to the signs of Mega Man in Blind Alliance. We did not survive the forest fires, the funeral fires, twisted by the gathering station. Take us up endeavour, the rivals, the dance, the mistaking and forgetting. Punish yours, kill a poor, enforced by law, the either or the classical dissection. Generated fantasies, moral bankruptcies, corruptible events. Cover back imperial line and borderline, the blooded line, the right to be it all. Light of time to kick the Jones, the crashing arms, the Darwin, sleeping in and sharp the union back to children, touching overarching. Watching with the limit, we did not survive this. Just to roll over, we did not survive this. Just to roll over, we did not survive this. Just to roll over, we did not survive this. Just to roll over, we did not survive this. Just to roll over, we did not survive this. Just to roll over, we did not survive this. Just to roll over, we did not survive this. Just to roll. Wait it, wait it. Wait it, wait it, wait it, wait it.
Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you,
No
Mr.
worries.
Sterile.
Thank you, Kedron.
And if you want to see this in person, you can. And that's only just for one last time. This is going to be next Friday, the 15th of March at Barrel Brothers on Constable Street in Newtown, being supported by Beach Balls, Displeasure, and Pumice. Entry is by Koha. You can get all the deets on Under the Radar. Also, I encourage you to check out Skirted Records on Bandcamp, or just look up Mr. Sterile Assembly on Bandcamp and have a listen to some of their music, especially their latest releases. And yeah, be there to get. There's going to be merch. You guys have
Lots
books.
and lots of merch. Bring your dollar, please.
Yeah, lots of T-shirts, mugs, even all kinds of things. Stickers. So yeah, one last chance to see these amazing, legendary, fiercely independent rockers in live performance.
Namahi Kedron.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.